Good evening, I'm Alex Tremaine, and today Old Man continues to build Gunpla. This is the fourth session of building the RX-93 new Gundam. We finished last Sunday with finishing, coming close to finishing the left arm, and that's where we're going to be kicking off again today. If you're new to the stream, I stream every Thursday and Sunday. Thursdays is 7 till 10 PM GMT, and Sundays is 1 till 5 PM GMT. So yeah, come along, hang out, and watch me fiddle with tiny pieces of plastic, snapping them together into a robot. Right, I think that's everything. Probably best to get started. So, when last we were here, we'd gotten as far as sticking some tiny annoying stickers on, and we were just in the process of finishing off the left arm. So that's where we're starting today. Is with, I think when last we'd finished, we'd attached F2 and H42, so we need I18, which is a yellow sprue. I18. There it is. So I hope everybody has had a lovely week so far. Mine has been quiet but pleasant. Slowly catching up on some wrestling shows, though it's a slow slog. I think I'm now only 9-10 shows behind the curve, so getting there slowly. This weekend is gonna, I think Saturday is gonna be spent doing a bit of catch up on that front, but other than that it's been quiet. Done a little more panel lining on the unicorn here. Starting to line the accoutrements, so this shield has been lined now. Just need to put some stickers on that. But yeah, it's a nice easy thing to drop in and out of when I get bored. And I did. I'm going to make a bunch of new emery boards for today. So I have 6 fresh fine grit emery boards, 1500 grit, for making sure that everything is nice and clean finished. So put these on, so this then clips on here like so. And then this clips onto the arm like so. So that has some... Ah, I see. That's quite nice. So that will sit in the sit in that socket as normal, but it will when pulled it will actually spring the spring what I believe is going to be the handle to the beam saber out. It's quite nice. Nice little nice little trick there. So what is next? We have we are building hands. So if memory serves, I built both types of hand last time, so we're going to do the same again here. So we need L118, L. Which one is L? L is here. L is the spring that the part fell off before it got to me. So it's being kept in the bag for safety. Right. So L118 and L123, and we need C1, which is... Oh my god. Sprues getting stuck on each other. Let's just... That's K. And that's J. And this is D, I think. Yep. Let's get those out of the way. And let's have C. Right, so C18 and C110. C1. C18. C110. Right. Let's get that back out of the way. L118 and L123. L1. Separate off. L118 and L1. So let's start with this. sorted. Good evening, Mr. Prince. Right, so that is... Where is this going on? That is the open hand. It's not what's going to be fitted. And this is the closed hand. Everybody else there, but I am exceptionally glad that tomorrow is Friday. This has been a week that has felt like it's dragged, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a nice quiet weekend where I do as little as possible, except coming here obviously and streaming into the void. Yes, so this is the just finishing off the second arm. Nearly finished this at the end of last stream. Didn't quite get there and didn't really have enough time to just put the finishing touches on it, so I think we'll be done with the second arm very shortly once these hands are on, and then I'm going to, without turning the page, hazard a guess that we will be moving on to the head. Or maybe shoulder units. It's probably shoulder units. Don't know. We'll find out. We will find out together. There's always something satisfying about building the head. Feet up or head down. It doesn't bother me hugely, but I can't deny that there is something satisfying about building the head, but there is also the orderliness of the feet up. The strategy does appeal to me, it has to be said. Right, so that is the second closed fist. So that, oh no, we need one more part. F25 needs to go on the wrist. F25 is here. Yeah, both of the real grades I've built have been feet up, as was the perfect grade Strike Rouge. The Zeta Gundam was all over the place. The perfect grade Zeta Gundam was just, they didn't seem to be able to decide what they wanted to do, but it worked. So Blimey, welcome to the chat. I haven't had a V-fin break yet. I have been very careful with them, I will admit. There is a degree of... I've been fortunate on the... obviously on the perfect grades everything's just a little bit more robust on the perfect grades, just because everything's a little bit bigger, which has been quite nice. And I've been exceptionally delicate with the ones on the Unicorn, particularly given the extra articulation that comes with those. Everything off there. So that is the last of this. So F25 goes on there. We can fit the fist, and we have a finished arm with the pop out, and then removable hilt for the beam saber. So let's get that back in there. Keep it safe. So that's quite neat. Right, let's add that to the add that to what we've got so far, and we have, as I say, my bet is either we're going to be shoulder armour or we're going to be head next. Let's find out the answer to that question. Shoulders. I should have guessed, really. Looks like these. Okay, unlike the Unicorn, these have to go on. These have to go on before the arms. That's not the end of the world. Right, so H39, H16 and J1 is sprue H. H39, we're building two of these. H39 come on, come free. There we go. So 2 of the H-39. 2 of H-16. Where is H-16? There it is. Things. Let's see. Second H-16 and 2 of J1. J1. Yeah, the SD ones are nice. I do like the look of the SD. The SD models. I haven't done any myself, but I have seen quite a few and they look very nice. But that one doesn't hang up, that one goes there. Yeah, I mean there's no end of options available. I've literally today failed my saving throw on resisting buying more plastic sprues, so I decided I needed something to build when I wasn't streaming. I have promised that I will be doing the entirety of this build on stream, and the next up I have for build on stream is the master grade version of this, the full armor unicorn, and then once that's been built, I have down in the corner here perfect grade strike freedom to build. All of those are going to be built on stream, but I just wanted something I could dip in and out of whilst without having to worry about people missing things. So I have picked up the master grade Banshee just to keep me busy in the meantime. Not that I have a shortage of panel lining to do on the 2 perfect grades at the moment, but well, I haven't even finished the panel lining on the real grade unicorn, but not always in the mood for panel lining. I really enjoyed building the, I hadn't realised they were so popular. I mean, I'd realised the unicorn was so popular. I think it's just I think there's an appeal to the degree of articulation and the transformation effect in the unicorn. I think I certainly prefer the green psycho frame on the full armour version. I really enjoyed the real grade build of the full armour unicorn. I was very fortunate that was my first build, which was just after Christmas. What I'm hoping to do is in the next, I have my eye on the new Master Grade EX unicorn. With the single ribbon LED sheet and the cage. I'm hoping to next payday, I'm hoping to be able to lay my hands on one of those. I think I've got a line on one. Yeah, that should be an interesting build. But yeah, well, I can always rejig things. If lots of people are building the full armor, the master grade full armor unicorn, I can always swap and change. But yeah, stick to the commitment. I think I've only been out of this. This is what, stream number 5. So I want to make sure I'm settled in with a couple of practices before moving on to tackling a perfect grade build on stream. So I think certainly if it's anything like the master grade, not the master grade, if it's anything like the real grade full armor unicorn, there's a lot of build in that master grade full armor unicorn. It'll keep us going for a little while. As I say, I'm looking forward to... Yeah, I will admit I was... As I say, the real grade unicorn was the first one I did. I'm not so worried about sort of the construction of the higher grade kits, in that, as I say, I have built 2 perfect grade kits following on from the real grade unicorn, but it was more me getting used to streaming than getting used to the building, and it has been a learning experience since Christmas. I learned a lot in the first build, and I don't know if you've done or seen a build of the perfect grade Zeta Gundam, but my god, that thing is an over-engineered kit if ever I saw one. I mean, it kind of has to be for the transformation effect, but it was there's a lot to that kit. A lot of extremely tiny springs and screws. It was a miracle I didn't lose any of the screws. I was pleased with the outcome of the Zeta build. As I say, I didn't have any real problems with the Zeta build. It was just a lot, you know. It's particularly with all of the electrical connections and the wiring in it. It's and as I say, the springs, so many springs and screws. Came out pretty well. I think the only thing I'm disappointed with is there's a few more visible gate stress marks than would have been ideal, but I'm getting better at cleaning things up without leaving marks these days. So. Tell you what, when I put it together, it was such a relief when I turned it on because you build it in sort of regular form, and then you transform it to the Wave Rider mode, and the wingtip lights only work in Wave Rider mode, and I was reasonably sure that it was all going to work properly, but it was very much a relief when I first put it into Wave Rider mode, flicked the switch, and all of the lights came on.
Falling in love with the drum. Falling in love. Falling in love with the drum.
I'm very glad I wasn't going to have to take it apart. Yeah, I can believe that. I was certainly going to be having a close look at that ribbon before doing anything extravagant with it. Kind of glad I've got the full armor to full armor master grade, so that I can be a little bit more, a little less cautious with. Done. Yes, I can believe that. I've been keeping an eye out for a perfect grade unicorn, but I haven't seen one yet. I've been able to find perfect grade Banshee Norns, but not just the straight up unicorn. One will turn up eventually. No rush for these things. Certainly not given the backlog I've already got. I mean, I don't know how long that Strike Freedom is going to take me, but it's going to be a little while, particularly if building it on stream. The box itself is about 1.5 times the size of the Zeta Gundam box, so I'm not expecting this to be a rapid build. Right, so that's all of those cleaned up. So that goes that way. This clips on like so, and J goes on the top like that. Excellent. Here we go. Come on, focus. There it is. Right. That's one. I'll do the other one. Well, I think my backlog isn't showing any signs of decreasing anytime soon. I promised myself I was going to be good this month and not get any more, but that's how long promises last. Right, so onwards. K11, K10 and 11, and A15 and 16. K10 and 11. K. As well. Go there. Right, A15 and 16. A is hanging up over here. I can see that. I mean, I think at the moment my favourite build has definitely been the Zeta Gundam. I mean, I love the aesthetic of the Zeta Gundam. I mean, I think I prefer the unicorn purely aesthetic wise, but I love the bulkiness of the Zeta. And Zeta was just such a ride, you know. The Zeta cured me of any worry about building any other kit afterwards, because it just seemed to have everything. Well, I don't see the backlog reducing anytime soon. I'm afraid I will admit my fandom cred is where I fall down. I have watched very little Gundam. What I've seen I've enjoyed, but it was a long time ago. I don't have quite the time I used to keep up with anime, and back when I was keeping up with anime, it was, well, put it this way, I'm old enough that it wasn't as easy to keep up with anime as it is now. I have finally divested myself of my VHS collection, on the grounds that I don't have anything to play them on anymore. So it is something I have been intending to, there's plenty available on Netflix and the like, which I have been intending to watch, but finding the time around work and actually building, there's just, I really enjoy the build with you now. I find it quite relaxing. I mean, the actual Gundam series has been sort of semi on my watch list since, I don't know, early 2000s, late 90s maybe. In the late 90s it wasn't easy to get hold of, and these days you can get hold of it very easily, but as I say, when I have spare time, I end up doing this instead. And Gundam should be right up my street, you know. I've always enjoyed giant robot anime. I mean, technically, I didn't mention this before, but technically the first Gunpla I built was back in the 90s, which was the 1998. I went to an anime convention in Birmingham, which was while I was at university. And I picked up the high grade Evangelion models, the blue Unit 0, Unit 1 and Unit 2. Cut those out of the sprues with wire clippers, which looking back on it is awful, but I enjoyed it. They got thrown away in a house move 10 years ago, more, 15 years ago now, which I only mildly regret. It was the correct decision at the time, didn't have room for them, but you know, there's always those what ifs. But I built nothing between now and then. Now I can get behind watching some classic Who. I haven't watched MASH in years. I've probably seen most of MASH. Parents used to watch it, so I caught a fair bit of it when I was much younger. It's fine. What I have been meaning to do, I mentioned this last stream, was whilst I enjoy a good bit of classic Doctor Who, and I have plenty of that to watch when I need to, what I don't have is any Blake 7. I need to see if anybody's done a I don't know if that's made its way to Blu-ray yet or not, if anybody's done a Blu-ray conversion. I know it was available on DVD at one point, but that was at a time when I did not have the money to be spending on box sets of DVDs. Right, onto these with undergates. Yeah, I shall have to have a look for Pluto TV. Yeah, I'm not surprised Blake 7 is only on DVD. I don't think it has the popularity to justify a Blu-ray conversion of it, sadly. I noticed they've started putting out Blu-rays of season by season Blu-rays of classic Doctor Who, which is quite nice. I have to have a look at. I have been meaning to have a look at what's available on that front, but I have. Well, as I say, I actually spend so little time watching anything these days. It's So, which way around is this? That's this one, and then those are the same, which means this one goes this way into here. Excellent. Yeah, I spend so little time watching TV shows. Ooh, that's good to know. I shall definitely have to look into that. I haven't seen Blake 7 in years. That was another one parents made me watch as a kid, which I have always been very grateful to them for. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I always did enjoy it, shoddy effects and all. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I do like undergates. They do do a good job of putting the edges out of the way. What am I doing here? So this is this one. This way around. Yeah, I mean, the cheap effects are somewhat endearing. I mean, I guess it's a little difficult, more difficult, I guess, if you've grown up. If you haven't grown up with those effects, if you've grown up with sort of modern CGI and the like, it must be very jarring to watch something like Doctor Who or Blake 7 and see the wobbly sets and the monsters made out of green painted bubble wrap. But I kind of did grow up with it, so it doesn't bother me terribly much. There's a certain degree of comfort to it. I mean, yeah, it was reasonably good for effects. I appreciate that the new Who series exists. It's not something that I've paid attention to for a little while now. It just didn't feel the same, which is almost certainly intentional. You know, I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not really the target audience, which is, you know, fine. But yeah, it didn't have the familiarity of old Doctor Who. I made it through. Until the, I don't know, early Matt Smith stuff, and it all just felt a little overblown by that point, and it didn't really feel like Doctor Who to me. Can't deny it looked good though, and there were definitely good episodes. There was stuff in there I enjoyed, but it was, by that point I was enjoying less and less of it and finding more and more of it kind of frustrating. So, but as I say, to each their own. Yeah, I took a brief look at it again when Capaldi came back, and I will admit it was a little more. Capaldi felt a little bit more like the Doctor, but I'd missed out on enough that actually coming back into it at that point felt like there was going to be a lot of catch up that I needed to do and that I wasn't really interested in doing. So I'm glad it's still popular, you know, I'm glad people are enjoying it. Yeah, H28, that is these tiny bits here. I mean, I think one of the things is, if you'd asked me at the time, I never have thought I'd have said this about a sci-fi TV series, but I wanted sort of less like season-long arc plots, and more in the way of just self-contained stories, which, you know, for a long time I would have sworn I'd have never said that about anything, and I would have equally said that Doctor Who was something that could really benefit from season-long arc plots, but they got a bit much in my opinion. Torchwood was fine. I never really got over my initial disappointment in Torchwood. When Torchwood was announced and sort of, and I will admit I've not watched some of the later stuff, and my understanding is some of the later stuff was very, very good with Torchwood. But when Torchwood was announced, I was expecting like a cross between the X-Files and Quatermass, and it was very much not that. And that was a shame, I thought. It feels weird to be saying this, but Torchwood has a minor problem that the lead actor's probably getting on a bit these days. When your character's supposed to be immortal and doesn't regenerate, it's going to be a bit awkward. I guess. Right, so tiny pieces are clipped on there. Then one of these on each side. Which way round are these going? I think they're going this way round. That looks correct. There we go. That looks quite good. Got a nice shoulder piece here, which the sides of which hinge out. It's gone together reasonably well. Right, do these. Oh yes, the face of Bo, I'd forgotten about that. I mean, I guess there's nothing to say that Torchwood needs a returning cast if they were to do it again, as anything other than cameos. Perhaps it's supposed to be an organisation, so there's plenty of opportunity to have new members. Were they to go down that route, which, let's say, the concept is sound. Yeah, that's true. I mean, so many cast members from even from ages past are involved in the Big Finish productions. It's another thing that it would be nice to have the time to look into, but time is a commodity that just seems to run out. I mean, yeah, I'd love a unit spin-off. That would be fantastic. You know, I mean, call me a really dodgy old Whovian, but a unit spin-off with Winifred Bambera and Anselin would be absolutely lovely in my opinion. But that probably has a limited target audience of people in their 40s. I-19 and C-15. I-1 is the yellow sprue. I-19. There they are. I mean, I think what's terrifying is that the actress who played Winifred Bambera in Battlefield is actually probably approaching the age that Nicholas Courtney was in Battlefield as the original Brigadier, as Lethbridge Stewart. And that, boy howdies, does that make me feel old. mean, I guess there's other options, I think. I lose track these days as to who is still around and who isn't. It's partially because it makes me sad when I find out who isn't. But at least some of the older unit related cast must still be around. Ooh, 70. Wow. C1 5. There we go. I will admit I'm grateful for the popularity of the audio books and audio plays of the likes of Big Finish, because it's given an extended lease of life to characters that just couldn't be played by their original actors and actresses anymore if it were on screen. And that is no bad thing. I remember when I was, God, I don't know how old I was even. It was whilst the show was still running, so it must have been pre-1989 or 1989 at the latest. And I remember being very excited to as you know, what I must have been 9, 10, something like that, depending on what year it actually was. I'm meeting Sophie Aldred at a signing that happened to be near where we were living at the time. That was an experience. I remember being somewhat overwhelmed by that as a young boy. I mean, these days that kind of thing is much more common with conventions and the like, but Wasn't quite as much back in the day. She was very nice, I remember. There we go. Right. 2 shoulder pads assembled with the nice contrast on the yellow there. Right, let's get these fitted to the model. That is one. That is 2. There we go. We have a everything but the head and the and I guess backpack, weapons, etc. The the funnels on the back. Coming out quite nicely, I think. Right, what's next? And is it the head? It's the head. Right. This feels like a good point to take a brief break. Been going for hour and 20 minutes. Just going to take 5 and a bit minutes break. Certainly be back before past, probably nearer 25 past. Thanks for being here. If you've been enjoying yourself, then I would be eternally grateful if you click the follow button, but don't feel you have to, and I will be back very shortly. Right, welcome back. I return refreshed. So, onto the head apparently. And we're starting with D13 and A27. D13. Red parts, excellent. Would make sense. Let's go from this side. Hang that back up. Right. So side of this part had pulled itself off the screw by itself, so I'm hoping it hasn't done too much damage. Seem to have gotten away with that. Right. So this let's see. What this does is we throw it all over the place and come on. You can do it. There we go. Gone in, so that's a sort of mask and chin, I guess. And this is going into L13. L13 is the part that fell off sprue L1. Nice, because that means I can use it and not worry about losing it anymore. Which be nice. So let's give this a clean up. Thankfully, in falling off, it doesn't appear to have done any damage. Still cannot get my head around Angela Bruce being 70 this year. Really does make me feel old. Go. So that is going that way around, and A2. A2 is the other translucent green part. And apparently we need stickers. There is a sticker which must go on part A2. Let's get the sticker sheet out. So let's clean this up first. Yes, thank you for your vote of confidence in stickers there, Miss Temperance. Whilst I appreciate the effects of stickers, the decals do make these models look very good. I fucking hate applying them. It is so fiddly. But I do appreciate that these kits give you a warning about the stickers that have to be applied while you're building them. Because the very last thing I want to do at the end of this is I have to take the blasted thing apart to apply stickers. I'm going to get unlucky and end up with a model that uses the water slide stickers. Water slide decals. I've not used water slide decals since I was a kid. I didn't enjoy it then. I'm not looking forward to it now. So I guess in the short term, we count our blessings and take what we can get away with. Right, so this needs a sticker applying. Come on, focus. Right to this surface here. This surface here needs a sticker applying to it. Lovely. So this is sticker 6, white 6 on a black background. This one. Connect it from this angle. There we go. Applied like so. Right, so we take this, which goes in here, like that, and then this. Goes in like that, and then we have more stickers, joy, and we have a choice of stickers no less. We are going to go with the more straightforward option of using a single sticker for the eyes. Come on. There it is. So we have, persuade it to focus. There we go. We have eyes reflecting green. Must be placed. It's the easiest way to do this. Back in there. Right. There we go. Eyes applied. So J4 and J5. J4 and J5. That is our first dead sprue for this model. Weep for sprue J, for it is no more. And D11. D11. was... I know there was another gate on this. Where was it? Where is it on this one? Ah, no, there it is. No. Yes, there it is. So this is on this side. That one. This finishing paper on this is dead and gone, so let's get a fresh one. I made a pile of these for today for a reason. Yes, I've already cleaned this up, so this lives here. That's looking a lot better. That looks like it's actually a head now, which is good. Right, so what's next? Presumably There we go. F1, I16 and K8. F1. There it is. F1. I16, which is here. And K8. All undergates. K8. And I think we for sprue K. For sprue K is no more. Cast it into the sea with sprue J. Right. So first thing we need to clean up is F1. That's that tidied, then it's the best angle to come in at this on, coming in this side. Go. That's that clean. Let's these two together. So put my there we go. We have that together, which is quite nice. Then this goes is applied straight upon like so, and then the last is this. Now that is too concave to get the clippers in there. Let's do this with a knife. Yes. Excellent. Right. This should be easier. There we go. Yes. So it's on top there. Like so. It's come out rather nicely. And yes, the next step is to apply head to neck. We have, I guess, the Gundam itself complete, which means what's next is the question, and the answer to that appears to be backpack, which would make sense. So, starting out with F28 and F36. F28 and F36, here it is. Here we go, F36. That back on its hanger. Right, so F28. Let's tidy this up. did put those gates in an awkward place. Never mind. Right, so that's that one. Let's get this cleaned up and then find out what these stickers are that it wants me to put on it. Because I do love new stickers. Right, that's that done. So 9 and 10 on the metallic sticker side. Okay. Tweezers. There's one. Cheers, living. So, and then this one. nothing right there. Right. The sticker's in place there. So these go itself in place like that. And then we need I see. I've skipped a part. Never mind. We will go back to that part and unskip it. H37 and G29. So H37 times 2. H37. Here they are. And G29, we need 4 of those, which is what we have here, and I believe this will finish off sprue G. Getting some sprues out of the way today. Right, so I'm fairly certain that is... Yep, there's nothing left on there. We prefer sprue G. So later. Right. That up, and let's do one, two, where did that go? Find it later. 3. So it's one rocket booster. This is a second rocket booster. Come on. There we go. Stop that. There we go. Right. Oh. Right, where are we? Do the same again. booster rockets. Another one done. Where is that going? So the last one. That's the last one. Excellent. So, two of these need D18 times 2, which is on here. Actually, no. Different each side now. So, let's start with this one. D18, which is here. H32 and H34. H32 and 34. Right, H32 and H34 and D18. So let's first of all get the worst off this. side. And then thank you for the follow, Spidergraph. Welcome to the stream. Right, so that one we've done. That's the next one. Here we go. Of curiosity, how was the volume on that notifier? I've got my, in order to prevent the music interfering, sort of feeding back through the microphone, I've got my volume turned down very low, so was that sort of a reasonable volume for the follow notification? Right, so that's those parts cleaned up. So we're starting with this. Step 1, as that goes on there. Step 2. Is join those two parts together, and step 3 is to add the white part. Now we have hinged little boosters with a nice little detail on the white part there with the grey showing through. So what's next? Next is the same thing again but on the other side. We need D17, which is one. Then we need H33 and H31. H31 and 33. So that's that one. RX-91 and H-33. So let's start with this. That's fine. This one. Let's just take the worst off there with the good. Where's the last one? There's 3 on here. I've done 2. There it is. One part. Ooh. That's annoying. Next. The last part. So in this case that goes like so. Then clips on, and then this There, nice. So that's come on, focus. There we go. It's 2 sets of boosters. And F30 and F31 apparently we need, which is this one, and F30 and 31 here. So that's that, and that. Back up there. So okay. Apparently a big undergate. Welcome to the stream, Diethyl Ether Sniffer. I'm reliably informed that that's not actually terribly good for you, but you do you. I haven't seen the high grade new. I'll be honest, I wasn't disappointed by the price of the RG. It's certainly I'm getting my money's worth out of it. I am in the fortuitous position that the day job does permit me to fund probably an inadvisable level of Gunpla addiction. So how's this going on here? Is that what's going on there? And then there we go. That's better. That's more like it. Let's get that in the middle of the screen. Let's fit it on quite nicely. as I say, you know, I'm getting my money's worth out of this. It's been, I mean, what, this is the 4th stream building this, so that's a solid, by the end of this stream it'll be what, a solid 14 hours I will spent on this, and we've come a long way, but there's still a fair bit to do, so I'm not disappointed with the investment, I will admit, but I do understand that I'm in a somewhat fortunate position of being able to sink into this. Yeah, I think 14 hours. It's been what, 2 3-hour streams and 2 4-hour streams? So yeah, 14 hours in total, which, I mean, I'm taking my time over this, I'm not rushing it. I'm sure it could be done significantly quicker by someone who's a little bit more practiced at it. I mean, this is what, my fourth Gunpla of varying grades, secondary or grade. I've done a couple of perfect grades as well, but I will admit I've found myself taking more time over things to get to clean the parts a little bit better, and I'm getting a much better finish from it as a result. But this is very much a sort of relaxing meditative experience for me. I just get to sit and, yeah, I'm not in a, I've looked at painting, I don't think I'm going to be doing painting super soon. I have enjoyed the kits as they come. I'm going back at the moment and doing panel lining. The first one I did was this unicorn here, which I'm currently in the process of, well, the panel lining has been done. Panel lining has been done on the Gundam itself. I've still got panel lining to do on all of the accessories, and I've still got quite a lot of decals to apply to this, but I think for a first attempt it's come out pretty well. Yeah, I'd love to have an airbrush, but unfortunately it's a case of having somewhere safe and ventilated to use one. I can do that in the garage, but the garage is full of cars, which I should also be working on. Well, cars. The garage is full of a car and many bits of a car which need working on, but the garage is also right at the bottom of the garden and not terribly convenient for just some sitting down and relaxing and doing some work, and I don't really want to be doing airbrushing and spraying here right by the computer in the study. So for the moment I'm going to steer clear of painting and just stick with the panel lining. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not keen to mess around with breathing in solvents, and it's that's a little bit more investment than I can currently justify putting in. I think once I've been through a few more of these, then maybe I'll have a think about it. But I've got to be honest, the the finish even without painting on these is ridiculously good. But the panel lining is definitely something that I will be going back to do. I've still got to finish, as I say, the accessories on the unicorn, and I've got I've got perfect grade Zeta here and perfect grade Strike Rouge, both of which need panel lining. So I have plenty to keep me busy on that front, and obviously this will need doing once this build is finished, and then we move on to the next build, which will be the full armor unicorn, the master grade full armor unicorn. And then once the master grade full armor unicorn is done, I have a perfect grade Strike Freedom down in a box in a corner, which will be the third one to build. All of those are going to be built on stream here, beginning to end. So I have plenty to keep people busy with in the meantime. I haven't done a master grade yet. I went straight from real grade to perfect grade, and I don't regret that. The perfect grades were great fun, but I'll be interested to see what the difference in sort of scope on the master grades is in comparison. Right, F37 and 38. F37 and 38. I do enjoy these real grades, but I will admit one advantage of the perfect grades is just that everything is bigger, which means there's less tiny parts for my stubby fingers. Yeah, I've been looking for a few things that I'm struggling to find at the moment. I'm just sort of keeping an eye out. I would dearly love to have a perfect grade unicorn, but there, I can find the perfect grade Banshee Norn. I can even find the ridiculous limited edition perfect grade Banshee Norn, which is ridiculously expensive, twice as much as the regular perfect grade. But can I find a regular, just a normal perfect grade unicorn? I can't find them for love nor money. So, but one day I will find one, and it will be mine. I will probably grab that Banshee Norn at some point in the future, but I've currently had my eye on the Master Grade EX Unicorn with the funky ribbon LED lighting inside, but that's a couple of paychecks away before I can afford that. But that's another one I'll definitely build on stream once I've got it. I wouldn't mind trying out there's came across titanium versions, master grade titanium finish versions of the regular Unicorn and the Banshee Norn, but I don't know how the ooh, bugger. Let's try not to drop the cutters on the floor. I don't know how the don't seem to have damaged them. That's good. I don't know how the or rather I have heard warnings that the sort of titanium finish on them makes the nub marks very visible, which I'm not keen on, particularly not when they're so expensive to buy. I don't really want something where it's just sort of yeah. I was looking with covetous eyes at the P Bandai Phoenix kit that's coming, but again it's plated, and unless they're going to undergate every single plated part so the nub marks are out of the way, which they probably won't, then it's going to be a bit ugly. So I think I'll be giving it a miss. I mean, the other reason I'll be giving that Phoenix as a miss is because it's going to be bloody expensive. I made an inquiry on the price of that, and the expected price is somewhere in the region of 600 or 700 quid, and I cannot justify that on I cannot justify spending that, not even slightly. Right, that's seems to have worked quite nicely. There we go. It's come quite nice and clean. How do you find the wet sanding on these parts? I'm using 1500 grit dry here, which is bringing up quite a nice finish, but obviously it's the dry sanding is loading up the emery boards very quick. I do have some wet and dry in the garage of some very fine grit, which would do nicely for this, but I wasn't sure how how using wet and dry would go for us. Right, so I7, H35 and F32. Let's do that in reverse order because F is here. F32. Okay, I'll have to. I've got to go out into the garage this weekend anyway, so I'll have a look for. I'll dig through my pile of wet and dry. I'm fairly certain I've got some at least 1000 grit, probably nearer. I've probably got up to 2000 out there somewhere. There's so much crap in the garage. What have I just done? No, that's correct. I need 2 of these. Yeah, so much crap in the garage. But I'm certain I've got some wet and dry out there. Just need something that isn't wood to put it on. There'll be something flat and waterproof out there I can use. I mean, I've been getting a pretty nice finish with these 1500 grit Tamiya paper, but I would like to no longer have to replace the paper. Sort of, I go through one of these both sides. Well, a couple of these are streamed, so. And that's not super expensive or anything, it's just a pain in the arse to having to keep making more. Yeah, no. That's something I've had to do with the. That's something I've had to do when working on the car as well. So when I've been using it on car parts, so that's certainly no problem. Right, so that's F32, H35. Yeah. Let's grab the other bits as well. I-17. There we go. A bit my next. I think the next big investment, tools-wise, will probably be at some point. I'm going to replace these clippers with Bite the Bullet and Order a God Hand, but again, that's something of an investment, and frankly these what are these? Vulcans were a fraction of the price, and they've been doing a pretty good job, I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, these do the job, and as you say, filing everything off clean means that it's not the highest priority on my list. And I will admit that, you know, my weakness for buying more kits is probably going to get the better of me until these existing clippers stop being usable. I'm probably going to keep using them. So what's this? There we go. That sits in there like so. That's good. And finish off that. Right, so that sits on. That sits on there. Right, I'm going to finish off these sub-assemblies here, and then I'm going to call it for the evening because it's past time when I was supposed to finish, and I do have to be in work tomorrow, and there's bits and pieces to sort out before then. So thank you all for joining me this evening. There's been some new faces in chat today, and I very much appreciate that. I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you all come back, because it's nice to have people to talk to while I'm doing this. My schedule is that I'm doing this every Thursday, 7 PM till 10 PM UK time, GMT, and Sunday afternoons GMT also, 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock GMT. There may be other streams from time to time, depending on how much time I have available. But the Thursday and the Sundays are definite guaranteed stream times, unless there are sort of unavoidable things going on in real life. I think all of the previous parts of this build are still up on Twitch, but if they're not, there's a link on Twitch profile to my YouTube channel where I'm archiving everything. This stream will also be archived there, probably be up sometime tomorrow. I have a Twitter, which doesn't have a lot on it apart from stream notifications at the moment, but it's there if that's something of use to you. And as I say, I will be back on Sunday afternoon, where I think there's an outside chance we might put this build to bed. I'm not 100% certain on that. I think it might with the accessories and the weapons and the like, there might still be a little bit more to this, but I think there's only 1 or 2 streams left in this build, so right, at this point I'm going to call it an evening. Thank you all very much again. Thanks to those of you who followed, I do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all again either on Sunday or on Thursday. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend if you're not going to be around, and yeah, it's been a very pleasant evening. Take it easy, everybody.